Hi, welcome back. Today is day 6 of the Cyber Advent, and today is going to be malware analysis. Okay, so the story for this is the town of Wareville remains quiet in the middle of the night while the residents of Wareville are nicely tucked up in bed, blissfully unaware. The sock team at the Best Festival Company remain alert, poised, and ready for whatever may face them, monitoring their screens. Armed with a freshly poured mug of hot cocoa, the elves of the sock watch their dashboards diligently. Suddenly, the elves receive an email in unison from Elf McClaws, head of Elf Affairs, in their inboxes. It reads, to all elves going forward, we'll be using a new program for creating and viewing team rotas. This new program will revolutionize how rotas are made here at the Best Festival Company. Please contact IT support if you have any issues running the program. Learning objectives for today is going to be the principles of malware analysis, an introduction to sandboxes, static versus dynamic analysis, and tools of the trade, P Studio, Procmon, and RegShot. So we're gonna go ahead and start our machine. And it says it's important to not run the exe yet. The room will instruct you when to do so. So we're just gonna wait for this to load up. Okay, now that our machine is loaded up, let's go ahead and see what's going on today. Malware analysis is the process of examining a malicious file to understand its functionality, operation, and the methods for defense against it. By analyzing a malicious file or application, we can see exactly how it operates and therefore know how to prevent it. For example, could the malicious file communicate with an attacker's server? We can block that server. Could the malicious file leave traces on the machine? We can use these to determine if the malware has ever infected another device. Instead of fearing malware, we can take a proactive approach by translating technical findings into practical defensive measures and understanding how the malware fits into the attacker's techniques. There are two main branches of malware analysis, static and dynamic. Static analysis focuses on inspecting a file without executing it, whereas dynamic analysis involves execution. We will come to these shortly. Sandboxes. In cybersecurity, sandboxes are used to execute potentially dangerous code. Think of this as a disposable digital playpen. These sandboxes are safe, isolated environments where potentially malicious applications can perform their actions without risking sensitive data or impacting other systems. The use of sandboxes is part of the golden rule in malware analysis. Never run dangerous applications on your device you care about. Most of the time, sandboxes prevent them as virtual machines. Virtual machines are a popular choice for sandboxing because you can control how the system operates and benefit from features such as snapshotting, which allows you to create and restore your machine to various stages of its status. To reiterate, it is imperative to understand that potentially malicious code and applications should only be run in a safe, isolated environment. From now on, this room will refer to malicious code and applications as samples. With these fundamentals covered, let's move on to the practical section of today's room. The following will demonstrate a sample. You must apply these techniques to the helper exe file presented to you within the HopHelp folder on the desktop. Static analysis can be a quick and effective way to understand how the sample may operate, as well as how it can be identified. Some of the information that can be gathered from static analysis has been included in the table below. So this would include checksums, strings, imports, and resources. However, it's important to note that regardless of how a sample may appear or function, we don't truly know until it's executed. Attackers use techniques such as obfuscation to obscure how the sample appears, primarily to evade antiviruses, but also to evade a curious analyst. Demonstrating P Studio. This section of the room will demonstrate P Studio on an example called downloader.exe. Please note that the information you will see will be from this demonstration sample. The sample you will be analyzing will be different, but the techniques will still apply. Please note that it's imperative that you do not launch the Hop Helper yet. I don't even think this VM is working. I can't even. I'm gonna open this in a new tab. Okay, there we go. So what we're gonna do is close it out here, and we're just gonna use dual because here it's letting us. So we're gonna open up P Studio, And just go back to see this sample that they're playing with, and then we'll look at it with the Hop Helper exe. So it says the shortcut for this has been placed on the desktop of your analyst machine. You can drag and drop the executable into the window now, or load it by selecting File, Open. So it's going to be in this folder, and this is the Hop Helper.exe. So we're going to go ahead and drop that here. And it gives us a couple of properties here. We have a file type, a version, we have a description, we have a signature here, we have the SHA hash. I don't know what just happened, but it just crashed. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, now proceed to do the sample. We've already done that. As a reminder, it can be found in that folder. Next, we will review the strings of executable. So let's go back here. Let's see the strings. There's 4,000 different strings. In the context of malware analysis, strings are the sequences of readable characters present within an executable. This could be, for example, IP addresses, URLs, commands, or even passwords. As a malware analyst, it's great to have a look at these, as these could reveal the attacker's command infrastructure, which we can use for our defenses. Now proceed to review the strings on the sample exe provided to you on the analyst machine to answer question number 2. I don't even think we've answered question number 1 yet, but let's check. What is the SHA? So let's go back here. And we're going to copy this value. Okay, next one is going to be static analysis. Within the strings, a flag with the format exists. What is the flag value? Okay, note this can be found toward the bottom of the strings output. So let's go back and take a look at strings again. You know there was 4,000 of them. Is there a way that we can search through this? So they say it's going to be toward the bottom. So let's just scroll through this. And I found the string here. So let's go ahead and copy value. And that is our second flag. So now we're going to look at dynamic analysis, where registry value has the exe modified for persistence. Please provide the full path of the key that has been modified. So this is Procman right here, process monitor. It's going to let us know in real time what's going on. Let's now go ahead and look at dynamic. So we're going to run this file and see what changes here. And then we're going to copy that path. I see an auto run shortcut just popped here. King Malware sends his regards. So let's scroll all the way to the bottom here and see. And it's asking us what registry value. So we're going to filter these, and then we're going to go all the way to the bottom here. And it's Microsoft /DWM /color prevalence. Let's go ahead and copy this path and see if this is what we need. Nope. Let's search for a key. Still not it. So it's saying that we need to go look in regshot. You can search for the Hop Helper executable. The executable has installed a registry value within the run registry key. Okay, so we're gonna skip this one for now and come back to it because it's the last question. But for this one, through the TCP filter, we should be able to find. It says filter out the procmon for TCP operations. What network protocol is Hop Helper using to communicate? And it should be HTTP. Okay, so now we're just on this last question that wants us to find this file path. I still haven't found this yet, so we're just gonna scroll back up and look back at this. So what I'm looking at is the desired access here, reg open existing key. So let's see where the key was actually changed at. Try this. So we actually skipped a step, and I need to go back to reg shot. I'm gonna restart this and then redo it through reg shot. Okay, so it looks like it's still infected. So what we're actually gonna do is terminate the machine and then restart it. Okay, so now that we reset that, we're gonna go to reg shot before we run it, just so we can easily compare instead of trying to scroll through manually. So what we do is now, instead of just doing it how we were just doing it manually, we're just gonna use reg shot like they wanted us to do in the beginning. So we're gonna do first shot. So we're gonna do first shot. All right, we've done that. Now let's go back to Hop Helper. We're gonna run this. Nope, that's just the egg icon. We're gonna run the exe. It's gonna, if you see in the background here, it's changing some of the photos. And we're gonna wait for the regards pop up. There we go. And then we're gonna do the second shot. And then once the second shot is done, we'll go back and hit compare and be able to see the difference. Okay, now that the second shot is done, screenshotting, we'll go ahead and do compare. Let's just go ahead and try to open this with Notepad. It was not working on the other one. So let's do okay, so we see this one now being run in the run folder. So let's just check if this one isn't good here. And there we go. We have the last flag. That one was placed in the run folder, which is when the computer restarts, it reboots itself and runs again. So now that we have that, was that the last flag? So yeah, it looks like that was our last flag, and these are bonus questions. So I'm not gonna do those. If you did do the bonus room, comment below, let me know what I missed out on, but as for now, looks like we're done. Looks like we've earned another ticket here. And thank you for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, please follow me on Twitter at rxsklife. If you're watching this on Twitter, follow me on YouTube at rxsklife. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again on tomorrow.